on to the Betfred Super League season. We're coming around again. How are you feeling? Fit and healthy, ready to go?
Yeah, fit and healthy. It's it's, I suppose the one positive of finishing a season to injury is that you sort of get a good rest. You get time to let the other parts of the body recover, and obviously I was gutted to miss out on the business end of the season at the end of last year, and obviously the World Cup off the back of that. But it's allowed me to recover, to rest, and give my body some time what you don't normally get, and that's just like I keep saying it, but resting. And off the back of that, I feel good, I feel strong, I feel fit, I feel healthy. Put a bit of size on. Most of it is intentional as well, not all of it unintentional, and I feel good for it. I feel strong. I'm raring to go. I think it takes a bit of a setback and a disappointment to really get that bit between the teeth again and be raring and hungry to get back into the season. I can't wait.
Has missing out on that final almost made you hungrier to go there again this year, and a big part of it?
Yeah. I was so proud of the boys and the team. I know what we've gone through these last few years, and I think the adversity that we had to overcome this season in particular, to still be on top and to get that fourth grand final in a row. I was so proud of the team and the boys and the whole coaching staff in the club, to get that done. But it's always tough watching from the sideline, and it really does make me want to get back again and then play next year, and hopefully pushing on as the team again and getting back into these big finals and these big matches, and hopefully more silverware. I'm very much looking forward to that.
A big change at the top, of course, with Wello coming in place of Christian Wolf. How's that been?
Good, yeah. Look, Christian was amazing these last few seasons. Obviously, he come on at a time when we was, getting, I suppose, to the top of our successes, and with Justin leaving and Christian coming in, he was unbelievable. But Wello's been a part of that for the last 4 or 5 years as a coach as well, and obviously prior to that as a player, I was lucky enough to play alongside with Wello in my first few seasons at St Helens, and got to know him as a player, and as a coach is no different. He's obviously first and foremost a very good coach. He's very knowledgeable of the game, as you'd expect, considering his career, but he's also uncompromising as well, and he expects high standards. But these high standards are what we've set over the last few seasons anyway. Really happy for Wello. He was definitely the right man to come on board and take on that mantle, and we as players respect him and look up to him and are ready to give our all for him as a coach.
You mentioned those high standards. When you've won 4 in a row as a club, how difficult is it to kind of keep those standards that high, not allow yourselves to get complacent, not allow yourselves to kind of rest on your laurels?
I think in normal work environments, it would probably be quite easy for that to happen, but I suppose we've got and again, it leads back into the question, but we do ride each other quite a lot in terms of those standards. And when you've got a culture at the club, which we have as a group of players, but it's not just us on the field, it's the rest of the squad, the entire the staff, the whole coaching side of it, everyone down to the kit man. We've set our levels and our stall out, and that's the minimum level of where we need to be. We know what that takes. It's not easy, it's hard work, but I think once you've created that, it's actually hard to kind of fall away from that for us. In a salary cap sport, to win 2 or 3 on a row is obviously a massive monumental effort, but to what we've done all these last few seasons, to win 4, you've got to have the right people on board who want to keep driving those standards. And for us, that's, I suppose it's the easy side of it, is them standards. It's once you've created a basis of what's expected, no matter who comes in, no matter what change there is, this is what it is to be a Saints player and being part of our organisation, and anything less than what's acceptable at the top isn't acceptable. I get it. It can be easy to rest on the laurels, but I think we've got, like I say, a winning culture there. We're desperate to keep winning. We've had success. It's going to get harder again next season. Teams have improved. They've strengthened. We've obviously got a bit of change here and there, but ultimately our drive is still the same as it was 4 years ago, and we're hoping to get back and back to playing and delivering those performances.
And an off-season where you've not had a massive turnaround in personnel, obviously 1 or 2 as there is every year, but does that consistency in squad really help keep those standards high as well?
I think so, because it becomes the norm, it becomes the expectation. I think when obviously we had a few new players coming last season, but they'll vouch for that themselves. That as soon as they're getting involved in what we expect, then everyone sort of comes to those levels anyway. But yeah, I think sometimes it's, especially in a salary cap sport, keeping on the key personnel and keeping the squad as similar as you can be doing, especially when you are winning trophies, is obviously key, if not more key than potentially signing players. So there's a lot of trust in our team. You've got to trust each other, trust the player alongside you, and if everyone's performing and doing what needs to be done, then there's no need to really change much.
And World Cup Challenge around the corner as well. You've obviously had to wait a while for a crack at the Aussies because of COVID in these World Cup Challenges. You guys must be so pumped and raring to go and get over there.
Yeah, really excited. It was 2020, start 2021, we played Sydney, and I think prior to that we'd had a couple of cracks. 2015 when we played at Souths, and we played Sydney again a few years prior to that in the World Club Series. So, and I think in those first 2 games we didn't really do ourselves justice as a team. I think the team now, what we have, especially the performance we did against the Sydney Roosters in 2020, in a game, in my opinion, where I feel we was probably the better side for the most parts of the game, but unfortunately we didn't take our chances. So, that's been the one downside of these last few seasons, and winning the competitions is not being able to have another go at that World Club Challenge. I think we've got a squad and a team capable of going out and competing and giving ourselves a real good chance and putting our sport and our league out on centre stage against the best in the world. It's clear the NRL is the superior league. It's got the finances, it's got the playing pool there, what we necessarily don't have, but every now and again do we get the opportunity to showcase what we've got as a league, and I think this is an opportunity that we're looking forward to. And a few weeks out in Australia, it's going to be a little bit warmer down there than it is over here, which is going to be nice. And we'll have a good camp, a lot of team bonding, getting together, raring to go, and hopefully putting a good performance against what is an exceptional Penrith side.
And domestically, is that elusive treble on the radar this year?
We're going to every season wanting to win everything we can. We've got a good side again, haven't we? And we've kept hold of some key players. All the young boys are a year older, a bit more wiser. So we're going into it obviously confident in terms of who we are as a team, what we've got in our squad. Again, it gets tougher each year. Every other team's strengthened. They've bought players, they've retained players. So as it has been for the last few seasons, it's going to get harder and harder to keep retaining the title. So, but we're going into it with the aim of silverware. You don't play for St Helens without them aims and ambitions, and it's no different this year. We'll be going for every single trophy. Whether we get every single trophy is yet to be found out. But that's our aim, and we'll be trying to win as much as we can.
Well, best of luck, mate.
Cheers.